I teach at a restaurant called Indica. Not in the restaurant. My friend is the owner, and she built a space above her restaurant for me. And I love it there. It's wonderful because we combine yoga with her passionately cooked Indian food. So we both get to do what we're passionate about. I'm upstairs teaching yoga, and she's up there when I'm teaching too. And then we come downstairs and we share food. And I get to share food with my students. And it's an amazing community growing. My very first yoga experience was with my grandmother, and I was probably about 7 or 8. And she taught me just really basic yoga things because she was kind of a cutting-edge grandma, and she did yoga in her 60s. And she would bring me into her bedroom. She's like, "Okay, Ann, this is how you breathe." And she did these lovely things with her hands, I remember. And my grandmother always impressed me a lot because I thought she had a lot of wisdom. And so when she showed me the yoga breathing and how to move the body, I thought, wow, that's really cool. And so we sat there in her bedroom and we did yoga. And then I didn't do yoga anymore after that until my 30s. And I started taking yoga because a friend of mine gave me a membership to a club that was kind of like a 24-hour fitness or something. And I went and I took box aerobics, that's what it was. And it was after my retail job, and I went in there and I was doing this box aerobics and I really hated it. And did it work? Yeah. And I looked across the hallway and there was a little sign on a door and it said yoga, and I was like, oh, that's for me, thank God, it's yoga. And my grandmother taught me that, I remember. And also I thought it would be easy. Oh, God, this is going to be so much easier than this crazy box aerobics. So I went over there and I took the class, and I remember in that class there was no mats. It was just on the floor. And I took the class and we were doing the sun salutations. And I started off in the front of the class, of course, because I wanted to learn the whole thing. I was very excited to be there. And by the end of the class, I was in the back of the room. And I had no idea why. I was like really freaked out. I was like, how did I end up in the back of the room? And it was because I was so tight that every time I would step my foot forward in the sun salutations, I wouldn't be able to step as far forward as I had started, in the beginning. So I kept having to back up and back up and back up. I had no idea. It took me years, well, not years, but it took me a while to figure out that, oh, that's why I ended up in the back of the room. So anyway, I'm really glad for that now. Why else did I take yoga?